I'm Evan Inada, and I'm on a mission to visit craft food artisans in search of the perfect bite using Columbus Craft Meats Saloon. The perfect bite consists of an ideal combination of flavors and textures that unite to create irresistible taste. Charcuterie plays a special role in the equation because it brings together diverse ingredients and encourages us to explore. Join us on an adventure to discover next-level charcuterie through the culinary offerings of cities across the country and around the world. See what perfect charcuterie bite is all about. Rustic Bakery still holds the key to the only handmade sourdough cracker in the world. Their simple yet sophisticated approach to crackers is unmatched. They have kept their sourdough starter alive for 25 years and are always thinking about their next flavor combo or innovation. Their crackers create the ultimate vehicle for charcuterie, cheese, and flavorful accoutrements. We reach for them again and again at Columbus Craft Meats thanks to their unparalleled quality.
We're here today with Chef Laura. Chef, thank you for having us.
Thank you for coming.
So this is where all the magic happens here at Rustic Bakery, right?
Yes, it does.
And the reason why we're here, and the reason why we love working with Rustic Bakery so much is the crackers, the crunch, you guys do it better than anybody else. And the coolest thing is actually, you guys are the only sourdough cracker in the U.S.
In the U.S., yes, we are.
That's great.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit more about the sourdough cracker.
So Carol LaValle started the sourdough in her home kitchen back in the year 2000. From there, she started baking breads for friends and family. And from that, we are still using that original sourdough in all of our cafe breads and all of our crackers.
I think that's so cool because a lot of people don't know really what sourdough or cultures really mean, and the starter culture means everything.
And we have to feed it every day, nonstop.
Yeah, it's a monster on its own. And
it is a beast.
Yeah.
And if you don't take care of it, it could die, and you don't want to do that.
Yeah.
It takes on its own flavor.
Yes, we actually use starter in our own salamis too, because you have a starter culture in the salami to help the fiore, the mold form on the outside. So all that fermentation process begins. So
why it tastes so good.
That's why everything, especially in California, why the sourdough tastes so good.
Well,
right?
you know, in the Bay Area, we have the right atmosphere for it.
That's the reason why we started making salami here too, actually, was because the climate was very similar to Italy. So they would open up the windows and let the fog creep in, really acclimate the temperature.
Yeah.
So we're gonna start building some boards with you, if you don't mind. So let's grab the sourdough crackers and talk a little bit more about why you guys have different sizes, different shapes, and does that matter on it?
Well, these guys are our bites.
Yep.
So if you're having a party, it's easier than, you know, a cracker like this. You're gonna have to break it into little pieces unless you're like me.
Yep.
You line it up and you just eat it.
Exactly. Yeah. Let's start out with building a little rustic board. So I'm gonna just take some old world aged cheddar right here from Fiscalini, some nice, rich, aged flavor for the cheese. You get a little bit of Parmigiano to really kind of bring in
good crystals.
the crystals, North Beach, all that flavor. For us, like, thickness does mean a lot when you're talking about the thinness
salami?
of salami.
Oh, yeah.
You gotta have it paper thin in order to
It's
really get all that
that way.
beautiful flavor. But then, like, when you have a smaller diameter, like you have something like a sopressata stick, you need that little bit more extra thickness to really like make that flavor come through. So we're gonna put this little wine-soaked cheddar in here from Fiscalini as well, dipped in a little Cabernet with the sopressata. Now, does thickness matter for like the crunch that you choose, and how do you choose the thickness of your cracker?
This has been the way Carol has made it since the beginning.
Forever.
So back in 2005, she started making these crackers. Her first clients were actually Cowgirl Creamery.
Oh.
So where you have your Mount Tam here,
Yeah.
that was the first partnership.
That's great, yeah. Okay, so for rustic boards, you have your olive oil and sea salt cracker. We have our Finocchiona, more of our rustic kind of flair portfolio. A little wild fennel in there. This is a sopressata with a little bit of sweet fennel and red pepper on it. Now, for the olive oil crackers, is there like a key to like really bringing out all the flavor?
For me, you want a little piece of salami on there to get that more fatty with that salty cheese. I'm more of like your crystallized, aged style.
Yeah.
These crackers they go with everything.
They do.
And that's what's nice, whether it's sweet or savory,
Yeah, I think the versatility of it is definitely important, especially on a charcuterie board. You want to have something that, for cracker-wise, that really works with everything. And
They go so well, and your salami balances with cheese, and that's what's nice about it.
yeah, it really does, and it has that texture, like you said. The thickness of your cracker really just
Crisp,
has
it's that
crunch.
crisp, yeah.
Is there a lot of trial and error in figuring out how to get that crunch if it's too thick and stuff?
So when you're making your cracker, like I said, Carol used to do this all by hand. Obviously now it's all done on a sheeter in our facility in Petaluma, and they are still hand cut. But when you're baking it, you want space between them, but you also want the right oven temp and you want the right time. Because if it's not the right amount of time, it's not gonna be crisp.
Okay.
But you also don't want it like a brick.
Yeah, definitely. Consistency is extremely important, I think.
That's how you keep customers.
Oh yeah, like we have our Salumieri masters at Columbus, really just watching everything every single day, going into every one of our rooms, just touching the salami, making sure texturally it's perfect.
And when it comes to your salami, it's also for you guys and us, it's temperature control.
Definitely.
Temperature control is huge because the salami has to sit in a cooler that's not too cold because it has to age. But like crackers, you want to make sure that it's not too cold because then they go limp.
Oh, see, I didn't know that, so
Yeah,
I learned
you
something
don't
new.
want it too cold.
Okay. So we have our Rustic board here where all you need is the olive oil and sea salt. We have our rich rustic cheese and our rustic salami. Now let's make it more of like a sweeter style board. So what do you recommend?
With the cherry cocoa nib crisp, I really recommend the brie. Honey is always a great added. They just go so well together that you could eat the whole wheel and be very happy.
Oh yeah, it gets dangerous.
Yes, it does.
And especially our salami seki is one of our traditional recipes as well. A little bit of seki, a little bit of brie, fresh fruits, and tell me a little bit about this cracker right here. This is one of my favorites you make.
So it's a crisp. So it's baked in a loaf pan. So they bake it and then they slice it really thin and then bake it again like a crostini. So it gets dried out. And it has seeds in it, almonds.
That little bit of fruit and the nut combination just really makes everything creamy just come together and come alive.
Yes.
Which I really love. And we're at a bakery right now, so tell me a little bit about this place and the other locations you have here.
So we have 4 cafes. All of these cafes use our bread, our pastries. We make everything fresh daily, from our croissants to our bread, as you're watching all the bread being made right now in this bakery.
That's great.
Nice little rosette.
Yeah, just like that, we have our little charcuterie board for the sweeter, the savorier cheeses, a little bit of fruits in there. Now, we have the cocoa nib one here. One of the things I love about you guys is
Our seasonal cookie selection.
because when you're building a charcuterie board, a lot of times it's for the Instagram, it's for your friends to really celebrate an occasion. So having something like this just is the finishing touch to
yes.
everything. So,
Halloween, when we have those little ghost cookies,
Yeah.
they're cute on a cheese board.
let's try this little bite then. A little bit of Italian dry, the gingerbread, and
Little wine cheese. Oh man, we're going
Wine
daring.
cheese.
Look at this.
interesting because I think gingerbread is one of those more interesting flavors because it does kind of, you don't think it goes with everything, but it kind of
Those
works
are spices.
well. Yeah, the spice, yeah.
And actually the spices help cut the fat of the salami to calm it down.
Yeah.
It was very good.
And for Columbus, our Italian dry, it's like the sourdough cracker. It goes good with everything. So Italian dry and then the nice wine cheese, just everything comes together.
Yeah.
So it's always fun. Now, last but not least, we got our little cones. I think these are perfect for any occasion, holidays, birthday parties, whatnot. We're gonna build 2. So I love these olive oil crackers because it's so long, it has that length. It really fills up the cone a lot, which is perfect. We usually go with a little bit of fruit to fill the bottom of the cones.
Gives a little heavy weight too.
Exactly. So for sourdough, you want to go grapes to kind of be that filler. I think with fruit nut ones, what fruit do you recommend?
Oh, strawberries.
That's a good pick. Put a couple down there. We're gonna grab a pick. I'd say we're gonna start with a Genoa salami because Genoa is one of those milder salamis, so it really brings out the flavor. But just twist it up like a rose, little rosette right there. And then we have if you want to pick that brie right there.
Okay.
Just put that straight
Are we
through.
putting the pepper on
And
it?
then we're gonna finish with a nice little strawberry and then top it with a little bit of fig jam. Get that little bit of elevated sweetness. And we're just gonna make
We're
a
gonna
few
plop
more.
it.
Yeah.
As the jam might fall, so we're gonna go on top next time.
Exactly. For you guys, what is kind of the passion of food in your group and what does it mean to you?
Family. And it's whether it's family or community or friends, it's the fact of you get together and you feed people and get everyone together. You know, as we talked about the pandemic, you didn't get to see anybody for a year, 2 years.
That was the worst part
And
of it.
it was hard because I like to feed people. And, you know, we want to keep doing that.
The next bite that we're gonna build in this cone is just gonna be a little simple finocchione. Let's take, we'll go Old World cheddar. So the Fiscalini Old World cheddar, we got our Columbus finocchione. That fennel seed just comes through in every single bite. So-
Fennel seed's one of my favorite things.
Oh, yeah.
You can't have marinara sauce without fennel seed.
Exactly. And with olive oil, the sourdough, it's like it's almost meant to be together, really. So we could put some Castelvetrano olives in there as well. We use the Mazzetto ones a lot here. I miss
miss
the
some.
salami. They're quality control here. Thank
Yeah, you gotta watch it.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Somebody can't miss out on this.
One of the things that I love about really artisan products and building charcuterie boards is there's so much different passion that goes into every single item, whether it's the freshness of the fruit, to the crackers, to the salami, how much time it takes for us. We have salami hanging for 92 days just to get that perfect slice.
The big passion for us is making sure that it's right, making sure that it tastes good and that people are enjoying it. Even with a cheese board, you know, we, besides having cracker facility, we have the bakeries, which we make baguettes. As you are watching them right now, shaping the baguettes in front of us.
Looks like hard work right there, actually.
It's a lot of work, but a good, fresh, crisp baguette. It does have some sourdough starter in it, and it also has polish in it. It adds that little tangy flavor that goes well with salami and cheese, but these things have a process. The polish and the sourdough take a day. It's 24 hours. They're now shaping this, they're gonna proof, and these will be baked early tomorrow morning.
Wow, yeah.
And it's all about time and temperature. Just like the salami, the crackers, everything, the bread, it's all about time and temperature.
Yeah.
So they're gonna sit overnight, and then at 3 a.m., the pastry team bakes them off so it's nice and crispy for the customers at 7 a.m.
I think that makes everything. And for us, like our butterfold is really when you look at the salami, you can see that clean, clear definition of lean, hand-trimmed pork shoulder and lean back.
Yeah.
That's just really the quality of perfection.
Yes.
You want to have that look just like on a croissant. You want to have that beauty in the
In the
face
middle.
of it, right in the middle.
Well, and it's especially when you cut salami down that thin and you can see through it and it's just right. And you see the fat marbling just to be perfect. That's what gives it its flavor.
There's that passion in every single roll, everything we do so that the salami comes out perfect for Columbus and for you guys at Rustic Bakery. Every cracker has that perfect crunch. So I appreciate really the time that you guys take into your craft to make charcuterie boards like this, or just a simple little cone just tastes as amazing as it does.
It's, you know, what we do. We like to feed people.
Just like that, we got a few little cones we can share with our team here. So.
Yeah. Come grab a cracker.
What do you think? Very good.
It was awesome to visit Rustic Bakery today to see how they make their crackers, bread, and pastries. I learned that bread and salami have a lot in common to get just right, but when it's great, it's obvious, like we saw today. I love Rustic Bakery for the crunch in my charcuterie boards, and I'm glad I had the chance to explore the craft of making their products and how perfectly they bring a board together.